regarding the ISO 20022 API, so we try to make it as easy as possible for existing entities that are using traditional providers just as a plug and play model. Else they would just kind of transition into a peer-to-peer decentralized model. Still using Nostro accounts, still using the central bank to settle up at the end of the day. So that would be a blend of the two, as we had talked about earlier. The next generation model is adding the digital assets in the messages payload. The next generation model is adding the digital assets in the messages payload.
Because there's many things coming down in the future that requires a lot more from the payment system than we currently can supply. Micropayments, machine-to-machine payments. How can we do 1 million payments a second in an efficient and costless fashion?
Internet of Things payments.
Internet of Things. So there's a very high bar that we need to meet in all payment systems going forward. They need to be much more efficient than they currently are.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video, we have a massive compilation of video clips for you all confirming the digital transformation and the role that digital assets will play in the future moving forward. Make sure that you stick around for the entirety of this video breakdown. These video clips are going to be monumental in the form of educating yourself as to what's happening behind the scenes, aside from all the mainstream distractions, and really understanding the transformative potential of these digital assets long term. If you enjoy these deep dives and these video clips, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the platform. We do appreciate the love and the support. These videos do take time to make, and it does help this platform grow, boosting these videos out to more like-minded individuals like yourselves. With that being said, in this video breakdown, a couple of things are going to be confirmed. That these banking institutions are for a fact upgrading their backend infrastructure in order to migrate over to more efficient and more effective blockchain and cryptocurrency payment rails. Then it's also going to confirm that Ripple, the company, is playing a massive transformative role in this digital transformation. It's also going to confirm digital assets' role in the future, coexisting alongside CBDCs, stablecoins, and native cryptocurrencies. So many people are misled to believe that digital assets will not be utilized in the future. This video breakdown and the compilation of video clips that I'm about to show you confirm that these systemically important organizations know that utilizing digital assets will take them to the next level in the form of scalability and using this blockchain and cryptocurrency technology to its fullest potential. So with that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video breakdown.
Also, on the investment side, where we're seeing the crypto blockchain rail is being utilized. So if you think about how we transfer money in the past from point A to point B, so there are 3 legacy payment rails. One is the card network, ACH, and also bank wire transfers. So currently, actually all 3 of them can be replaced by blockchain entirely. Right? If you think about transfer money from A to B, now we can choose any blockchain. Of course, they need to have the capability to enable faster speed or transfer value.
20022 API can't do everything the Swift or separate model can do. Think about if you're going to wire funds cross-border from bank to bank, you still use Nostro accounts. You still use the central banking settlement system at the end of the day to settle up. That's all the same. If they want to take it to the next level, our next gen solution, that's when we start adding digital assets in the messages payload for instant settlement.
Well, the value is that it's actually easier and faster and better to build financial products on a DeFi stack than it is to build it on the old traditional financial stack that was built over the last 50 years. And that's why you're seeing major banks, major PBs start to build things like tokenized money market funds. Because they see this and they say, oh, the crypto rails are actually better for trading these traditional assets than the current rails that we have.
We encounter novel player to the system, private sector issued digital money. They include crypto asset and stable coins rooted in groundbreaking technologies like blockchain. Policymakers are still contemplating how to deal with the digital money in today's financial landscape. There is clear recognition of their potential to fill the gap of our current finance and monetary system. First, we need to stay nimble to customize our policies and institutions to keep up with digital innovations.
Ripple, I think, is the only company. That's the reason I joined Ripple 5 years ago after practicing law on the East Coast with big law firm, and then in banks. I think it's the only company that has successfully married the promise of blockchain and crypto and solving for a real world problem. And the real world problem we solve for is how do you move value on behalf of institutions, banks, and payment providers real time. Right now, traditional financial plumbing allows you to move IOUs real time, but then the banks need to settle that on the back end. And the way they settle that is a bank hires a bank, they pay another bank that ultimately pays the bank they owe the money to. And that can take 3 to 5 days. It can be very costly. So although you may see something on your app that shows that you have the money, again, the real value has not transferred. What Ripple has done, both with our proprietary software and with the XRP ledger, which is a blockchain, using this digital asset XRP, which is crypto asset like Bitcoin or like Ethereum, we can move the value real time. And the founding mission of the initial brilliant engineers who put all of this together, their vision was the internet of value. Just like you can move just like I can send an email now across the world, and I don't know what server the recipient was on, and the recipient doesn't know what server I'm on, and I probably don't know what server I'm on. I can hit send, and that email seamlessly, instantaneously moves to the receiver. And essentially, that's what we do with value. That's what we do with money.
And here are a few countries that currently are launching their stablecoins or working on them. So really, in the next 10 years, we're going to see a whole lot of transformation in the financial sector.
And nothing is more important to us than the partnerships that we've built with different countries. We're honored to be working globally with many central banks. I think we've publicly released 6 governments that we're working with. Most recently, we announced a partnership with the National Bank of Georgia. We're honored to be working with them. We have several others that we're working with privately. We have several others that we're working with privately. I was interested earlier listening to Evelyn Whitlock of the ECB talk about different ways that the digital euro will be accessible in the Eurozone. I think she mentioned 3 different ways. One was through an ECB-issued wallet. One would be through a bank-issued wallet. And then the third was sort of on a card concept. And when I heard that, I internalized the complexity of that ecosystem and what will be required. And that's what we think about at Ripple. We think about CBDC as a full ecosystem that encompasses different instruments, different actors, and ultimately different use cases. So when we think about different instruments, yes, we're talking about central bank digital currency. We're also talking about private money. We're talking about stablecoin, tokenized deposit. We might be talking about native cryptocurrencies.
But one of the goals for designing this well would be to build a platform upon which the private sector can build higher end services, can make the money usable in other circumstances. So yes, we would want it to be programmable in some sense, not by us, but by the private sector. We supply the money, the private sector makes it usable in various circumstances.
All of these things we anticipate coexisting in some fashion in a mature marketplace, subject to regulatory frameworks, tokenized deposit. We might be talking about native cryptocurrencies. All of these things we anticipate coexisting in some fashion in a mature marketplace, subject to regulatory frameworks that allow for them to interoperate along different corridors. But we're building for that. We're building for that future.
Number 4 is interoperability. We actually think about this from day one. It's not something we think about later on. And this is all about how do we connect with the domestic system, the current system in the countries, but other systems, you know, CBDCs, stable coins, native cryptos, they will all be part of the future, and they all need to work together. And in somehow we need to make that happen. So we think about that a lot.
We supply the money, the private sector makes it usable in various circumstances.
Yeah, I was actually nodding more around the fact that actually I think the blockchain technology at its heart is a highly distributed system, and it has the capability to automate workflows. That's the boring side of things, and make markets more efficient. But I think it sits very synergistically with the role of an over-the-counter broker. And then what we are seeing is, I think perhaps to take on what you've been saying there, Duncan, is what are we talking about here in terms of these new money rails systems? So firstly, we're talking about different forms of payment rails.
We might be talking about native cryptocurrencies. All of these things we anticipate coexisting in some fashion in a mature marketplace.
You know, CBDCs, stable coins, native cryptos, they will all be part of the future, and they all need to work together.
So a very big part of blockchain technology is bringing out something like the Ripple network, which wants to be the next generation of a payment network, a cash system. So we know society is going to change in the next 15, 20, 30 years, where our physical cash will fall away, and we will transition through a few mediums, but we are heading towards a full new digital rail system.
It actually settles. And we've been doing that, and we've been trying to perfect it. And again, we've built a very successful business, but that business relies on the XRP ledger, just like there's a Bitcoin ledger and Ethereum ledger, there's an XRP ledger. And it relies on the digital asset XRP, which we believe is faster, cheaper, more transparent to move than other digital assets. And it relies on the digital asset XRP, which we believe is faster, cheaper, more transparent to move than other digital assets.
Now, banks are regulated, conservative, and they're not yet embracing digital currency. So the Ripple software works fiat to fiat. You don't need to send digital currency around. You can send US dollars to Japanese yen, et cetera, but kind of the secret sauce or taking it to the next level is by leveraging a digital asset to make that transaction much more efficient. Kind of the secret sauce or taking it to the next level is by leveraging a digital asset to make that transaction much more efficient.
20022 API can't do everything the Swift or separate model can do. Think about if you're going to wire funds cross-border from bank to bank, you still use nostro-fostro accounts. You still use the central banking settlement system at the end of the day to settle up. If they want to take it to the next level, our next gen solution, that's when we start adding digital assets in the messages payload for instant settlement.
So the reason why I'm showing you all these video clips is so that way you all don't get distracted by the short-term price swings either up or down in the cryptocurrency market, and you can really start to generate a long-term perspective. Understand the transformative potential of what you are investing in. Imagine holding a piece of Bluetooth technology back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Had you have invested in it and held it all the way to today, having it reached its massive transformative potential that, for example, Bluetooth technology has reached today. It is the same thing as investing in digital assets now. these banking institutions are migrating over to these new blockchain and cryptocurrency payment rails. It is going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. Don't let anybody lie to you and mislead you to believe that it's going to be some straight up line to the top. Albeit we are on the verge of experiencing massive institutional adoption, but you can assume that until true utility kicks in, these digital assets will continue to be traded. What does that mean? That means that once these financial institutions, asset managers, or privately owned individuals are in profit, they're most likely going to take profit, which is going to create a catalyst or a pullback in the digital asset space. Long term, though, if you zoom out, you're going to see that you're investing in something that is absolutely going to transform the global financial infrastructure. And if you can understand that, then you can have a long-term perspective. Hopefully, these video breakdowns cleared up a lot of the misconceptions about these financial institutions migrating over to the blockchain and cryptocurrency payment rails that they are, and that they will use these digital assets in the future moving forward. We now know that CBDCs, stablecoins, and cryptocurrencies will all coexist in the future. Ripple is playing a massive role in this digital transformation. If you all enjoyed this video breakdown, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. We do appreciate the love and the support. And as always, be cognizant, be aware out there. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and invest in digital assets, but what I am asking that you all do is you dig a little bit deeper than what's being projected to the mainstream. You do your research and you understand what is really happening to our financial infrastructure.